That might help. Hi, Russ. Yeah, everybody. Russ and the West Ham Network. Hope you're all safe and well. Welcome to Hammers Headlines in association with the KUMB.com boys. Only a couple of hours until kickoff. We'll have our predicted 11s in a couple of hours' time. So keep an eye out for that. If you are going to the game, enjoy. Don't forget to bring a quid and put it in the buckets for the Irons Point food banks. If you're not going, please feel free to join Anton and Irish Tommy for the watch along, going live from about 7ish, I'd imagine. But subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, and you know exactly when we're going to be going on. Hammers Headlines, as I said, 3 stories, all transfer rumours, which you all love. But as I always say, we don't make any of that. We just report what's being mentioned in the news. That's all we aggregate the news. So I appreciate why we talk about transfers and things like that, but the wheels are turning in the rumor mill, that's for sure. And there's 3 today. The first one has been on a few news outlets today, actually, and it's about the Italian left back Federico Di Marco. And apparently West Ham are reportedly confident of signing Di Marco from Inter Milan in the summer transfer window. According to Inter Live, the left back could well be West Ham bound before the start of next season. It claims the West Ham are confident of winning the race to sign the Italian left back. It's alleged that he could be available for around £40 million. However, there's also been slight development to that, in an option with a possibility maybe of us offering a reduced number, which seems more likely, of around 26 to 30 million pounds, with Emerson Palmieri included in the swap deal, which I think, so, I mean, again, they're both Italians. He's a left back. They're both left backs. I can see sort of it makes sense. It's a shame, I think, if that happens, because Emerson's actually probably played. It's probably the best or the most consistent, or certainly the one who's blended in the easiest to all of the signings in the summer, particularly. But it's a lot of money. I mean, personally, I think Di Marco would be an absolutely fantastic signing for us. Left back and right, both fullback positions are areas we need to improve dramatically. We've been since. Vlad, we bought in for a couple of £1 million. Wasn't really a risk, so to speak, because it was a couple of £1 million, and he's turned to be a very, very good servant for the club. But he's 30 now. You've got Aaron Cresswell, who's having this sort of random renaissance in the last couple of games, but his contract runs out at the end of the summer, end of this season. I think we could well be seeing him leave potentially. Emerson, apart from. I suppose you've got Ollie Scars as well, but maybe he's a couple of years down the line. So I could see this being a quite a useful acquisition for West Ham. He's had 26 Serie A appearances this year. The Italian international scored 3 goals, 2 assists. And looking for pace, this man's got it in abundance. And he's very, very strong down that left flank. He's got a good engine on him as well. Would be superb, but he comes with a price tag, and no doubt there'll be a number of other clubs competing with us for Di Marco's signature, that's for sure. But it's an area we do need to invest in. It's an area we need to invest in quite significantly, I think, particularly right back as well. But this is a start, and he looks a bit like Arnautovic in some of the pictures, but he's not. So we'll keep an eye on that in the summer. Another guy that we were linked to before, we tried to get and we didn't get, and he went to Liverpool, was the former Fulham winger Fabio Carvalho, who then obviously went to Liverpool and has played for Liverpool and turned out for them this season. But apparently, according to the guru that is Fabrizio Romano, Liverpool want to sell him in order to make way for incoming transfers this summer. And this will undoubtedly pique West Ham's interest. We missed out on him when we were trying to get him from Fulham. He was attracted by the lure of Liverpool. And maybe he's regretting it now. The Portuguese under-21 international hasn't really featured for the Reds of late. He's been given apparently, I think this season he's had something like 6 hours of Premier League football this season and about an hour and a half of Champions League football, all in terms of all his sub appearances. He scored when he was at Fulham. He had 12 goals and 8 assists in 44 games. Since, as I said, moving to Liverpool, he's played just 20 games, scoring 3 goals in the process. He's a good player. We know he's a very special player, and I think other teams, I think Real Madrid was sniffing around him last time, if I remember. And obviously, he went to a bigger club than joining West Ham, rather than so he jumped into a very deep pool by going to like a Liverpool, and it hasn't really worked out for him. Liverpool are looking to invest heavily in the summer, sort of an aging forward line particularly, and while they're at it, they want to get rid of potentially Fabio as well, according to Fabrizio Romano. So that would could give us a second bite of the cherry when it comes to Fabio in the summer. And lastly, a guy I have never heard of, but great name. He's got a great name. Where's my sheet gone? There it is. West Ham apparently interested in signing Mallorca's HeungMin in the summer. According to a report from Estadio Deportivo, West Ham intend to activate the £16 million activation fee, 80 million euros for those of you in Europe, release clause in his contract. The news report claims that the Hammers are ready to pay that money to bring the 10-capped South Korean international to the London Stadium this summer. The 22-year-old can play anywhere from number 10 to left or right wing. So, anywhere across that 3. So very useful, for, we did a whole thing about Arnie Slot. If Arnie Slot is in the dugout next year, he plays 4-2-3-1. So again, he can play in there, or if Moyes is still there, he can play anywhere across that front 3. He's bagged 3 goals and 5 assists in 20 La Liga games this season for Mallorca. What can we say about him? Hardworking, incredible technical ability, very impressive. you look at HeungMin Son in terms of what he brings. He's got so much in his locker. Lee, a similar, very, very technical. He's got a very good turn of pace as well. At £60 million could be very good value for the South Korean international. Particularly also, from a marketing perspective as well. Son, how many shirts does he sell in South Korea? You'd make your money back pretty sharpish if Lee came to West Ham, I would suggest. And so keep an eye out for that in the summer. We could be seeing HeungMin Lee in a West Ham shirt next season. Be cheap on the old letters on the back though, wouldn't it? Just Lee. Anyway, as I said, keep an eye on the channel. Loads of stuff coming up the rest of the day. And let me know what you think about the, what areas do you think we need to invest in seriously in the summer? Not people, but areas. For me, fullbacks are critical. Fullbacks and another striker, I think, are critical for me. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble. Keep the faith, my friends. Come on, you Irons. And we'll get back to you very, very soon. Take care.